Salesforce sales and marketing to get on the same page with regards to all communications, and also empowers the Salesforce to really control some of the communications in Salesforce. We'll demonstrate a little bit of that right now. What you're looking at here is a typical Salesforce.com lead screen. It could also be a contact or account, but these tools created from the integration, which is just an App Exchange app that you install into Salesforce, allows you to do all of these things that we're about to show you. Number one is the empowerment piece, allowing your sales team to actually send communications to their leads and contacts. To do this, we offer the Send Silver Pop email button. The Send Silver Pop email button is very easy. You just simply click on it, and then marketing on the back end has the ability to allow which templates built with Silver Pop Engage can be previewed and sent to the leads or contacts. You can organize the leads or contacts into different types of folders. For example, event templates is always a common one. Then the salesperson can actually pick which event template they would like to send. So for example, perhaps they want to invite them to a particular event. You'd want to just simply select that particular email and then go ahead and preview it. This is exactly the email we want to send. We're going to go ahead and click Next. Here, it's also going to default the from name and the from address, reply to address, all to whoever is sending this email. So the person who is logged into Salesforce, this will be exactly who they are. You can change these on the fly if you like. You can also change the subject line if you want to add any personalization to the email, like for example their first name, to make it a little more personal note. You can do that as well. You can also send now or send later to set at a particular time, and then you can preview the email and just click send, and that email automatically gets sent to that particular user. It's very simple. It really allows sales teams within Salesforce to take control over some of the communications and offer to send them communications on their behalf. The second piece of it is the Silver Pop Engage Contact Insight. What the Contact Insight does, and it's just an iframe window, it's a view to Silver Pop Engage. None of this data is being stored into Salesforce, so you don't have to worry about data storage here. It's simply a window to the insight of what this contact or lead has been doing. To continue with the empowerment piece at the very top, you can see what kind of automated programs they're currently engaged in or have been engaged in the past. You can take a look and see, all right, they've been engaged in all these different programs, so they've been quite engaged. And you can also add them to programs that they might want to be involved in. So if you have a contact or lead that is very interested in a particular event, you might want to add them to the nurture program for that particular event. So again, you have control over what you can do and where your contacts can go. The second part of the Contact Insight is their lead scoring. With Silver Pop Engage, you can create as many scoring models as you need. The scoring, up to 10 scoring models will show here in the Contact Insight. We have 5 here that you're currently seeing. We'll show you the rank, which is a customized field that you can determine how you want to rank them, as well as their actual score. And the scoring models are 100% customizable, and you have ultimate control over budget, authority, need, and timeline, any demographic fields, as well as all the behavior insights to also score. The third part of the Contact Insight is the most important in terms of insight, and that's all their actions and messages. This is really where you can get sales and marketing on the same page. On the left-hand pane are all the messages that they've received, and the opened envelope icon simply indicates that this message has been opened. If it's a sealed envelope icon, that means that the message has not been opened yet. So you can get a really quick view of what communications this contact has received and if they've opened it or not. Oftentimes, marketing is going to be sending out communications to your leads and contacts unbeknownst to you. However, they have the power to make it seem like it's coming from you as a salesperson. That's not a problem because you have the Contact Insight. It gets you on the same page with marketing, and you are able to actually see what communications have been sent out just by simply clicking on it. So if a lead or contact calls you up as a salesperson and says, hey, I just got this message from you, please let me know what it's all about. You can simply open it up and say, oh, we're just inviting you to our particular ROI event.
Ja, ben aan het geweest, hè.
Is there any questions?
Ja, ik zit thuis, hè.
Simon, you want to mute Kenny?
Ja. Sta op de sportlist.
Thanks. All right, we can edit that part out. On the left-hand side of the pane are the actions. And the actions are everything that your user has been doing that is trackable within Engage, which is nearly everything in the digital world. So expanding the actions, and these are all interactive actions, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So everything from clicking on a link in an email and what email they clicked on, to sharing a message on Twitter, sharing a message on Facebook, submitting a form, visiting a website, downloading a white paper, clicking on a link on a website. All of these actions are trackable and provide insight to how engaged your contact is. If you want to learn more about something, so here's a website visit, you can simply click on the website visit. It gives you the source. How did they get to your website? In this case, it was an email. If you want to see exactly what email they received, you can go ahead and click on that, and it shows the email that they received to get to that website. When was the last visit? How long did they stay? And if it was a search, Bing or Google will also show you the search keyword in the source. We'll show you what pages they visit. If you want to go to the pages, you can just simply click on them. Also, the links you can also click on the links, and that'll show you exactly what they're clicking on. You can see what white papers they've downloaded simply by clicking on the white paper, what form they've filled out simply by clicking on the form, and how they shared to Facebook or Twitter. So all of these actions, everything in the digital world that they're doing, you can monitor and provide insight for. Very, very powerful tool. Also, what we do with our integration is we store up to a certain amount, and it's customized by you, how much information you want to store in Salesforce, but all the email metrics we can push from Silverpop Engage into Salesforce.com. So it gives you even more insight to their email activities. You can also click on any of these email activities, take a quick deep dive, see what the email was, and all the statistics, including when it was received, if they unsubscribed, or if it bounced, what links they clicked on. Everything there is to know about this particular email, you can actually see with the stored metrics. Because we're storing the metrics, what that allows you to do is create additional dashboards. Silverpop Engaged integration will create some dashboards for you, but you can also customize these dashboards. So for example, what you're looking at right here is a typical email activity dashboard, and we can show you this within Salesforce because we are storing that email activity. So for example, Silverpop email activity, you can see the sum of opens versus the record counts, your leads by rank, your funnel that's based on your scoring models, your Silverpop open activity, who's opening the messages and who's clicking on the messages, as well as your top leads and your top contacts in terms of opens and clicks. Also, we can tie them into campaigns and opportunities, which are won and lost, which will eventually give you the sum of return on investment. All of these, just like everything in Salesforce dashboards, can be drilled down into see the actual report, and you can customize the report at your leisure, depending on whatever metrics you want to show or hide within your particular report. Another dashboard that you get is the revenue dashboard. The revenue dashboard really allows you to tie your return on investment to your email campaigns. So you might have a lot of other types of channels running, including your website, partners, banner ads, things like that. And we can tie your email chain directly to those email metrics and the opportunities, which will give you the exact return on investment for your email campaigns. We also control the opportunities by source and how people are getting to you, and we'll show you a complete campaign return on investment based on the sum of opportunities won. And again, everything, it can be drilled down just by simply clicking on it. Top campaigns by opportunity value, closed versus won campaigns, top leads by campaigns. All of these things are available in the revenue dashboard as well. And of course, you can create your own dashboards. and customize these existing dashboards as you see fit. From here, we've been working exclusively in Salesforce and seeing what a salesperson would actually see. But what we'd like to do now is actually go into SilverPop Engage and show you how the marketing side and how marketing would set some of these things up, and also allow it to interact with particular components of Salesforce.com. In the automation area, SilverPop Engage allows you to create these really sophisticated automated campaigns and programs. In this particular case, I'll go ahead and open a sample program here. And this is a program that incorporates a lot of different things, including direct mail, telesales, emails, and such. We won't get into how programs work, but what we'll show you is how it integrates with Salesforce.com. First of all, programs are built into all these different tracks, and a track is basically a linear journey that a recipient is going to go through, and you monitor the pulse of that track. How are they being nurtured? Are they being responsive? If not, you might want to try a different method, or you might want to continue to remind them. All these things are available to do within the SilverPop Engage programs. It's all done by the use of these decision diamonds, and these decision diamonds are really the query engine that allows, that really powers Engage and all decision making within Engage. Segmentation, dynamic content, all of that is driven by this query engine. And one thing that you can query on are CRM opportunities. CRM opportunities are any opportunities that are within Salesforce.com. So within this, you can actually see if an account is within a particular opportunity and what that opportunity stage is. And you can actually query on where the opportunity is at and move the track or the program forward based on the opportunities. Some of the other things you can do is sync a contact with CRM at a particular stage. So for example, perhaps you want to, you don't want to store all your leads into Salesforce. Everyone that visits a website, fills out a web form, you want to nurture them engaged for a little bit and find out if they're really engaged, if they're acting with your brand, and then maybe you want to create an account and put them into Salesforce. Well, SilverPop Engage allows you to do that, and it's using this sync contact with CRM. So, for example, perhaps we want to set it at this particular step, and what that means is Engage is going to nurture the contact or the lead. They're not going to be in Salesforce until they get to this step of the program. Then they can go into they can go to Salesforce.com, and you can start alerting the sales team that this lead is definitely engaged and they're now considered a qualified lead. What we call that is sync on qualification. Of course, the other way to sync is to just have a one-to-one relationship with everybody that's in your Salesforce database to everyone that's in your Engage database, and you can certainly do that. But for those that want to sync on qualification via a program or a scoring model, you can do that with sync contact with CRM. The other thing you can do with a program with Salesforce.com is automatically add them to a particular campaign. Let's say they're part of Salesforce.com. You want to add, once they get to this step in the program, you want to add them to a campaign. The only thing you need to do is add the Salesforce campaign ID here, and that will automatically add them to this particular campaign. Very powerful feature. You can nurture them in a different track, and you can use multiple campaigns within a single program. Excellent. From here, I'll show you a little bit on how you can actually control and integrate with SilverPop Engage. SilverPop Engage gives you full control over your integration. You can set it up, and you can make changes without having any MIS or SilverPop development or Salesforce development working with you. You can do this completely on your own, and it's self-sufficient. Again, I mentioned it's an App Exchange app on the Salesforce end, and you just drag and drop the items into the layouts that you want. On the Engage side, the big task is to map the fields. And we give you an actual easy way to map each field, and each field is mapped in its own manner. We have bidirectional syncs where everything that's going to be in Salesforce will flow into Engage, and everything in Engage will flow into Salesforce, a bidirectional syncing. You can also call fields unidirectional from one direction to the other. So for example, title, you only want Salesforce to control that and Engage never to update it. So it's going to flow from Salesforce to Engage, denoted by the arrow here. There might be some fields that you want Engage to update. So for example, lead source. You might want lead source to flow from Engage to Salesforce and not from Salesforce to Engage. So you are in full control on a field-by-field level of how each map is going to sync. You can also create your own maps right on the fly. So for example, salutation is a map, but maybe you want to map it at a later date. So if you've added a field to Salesforce, you can simply go here and add it to Silverpop Engage. Just click Create Field Mapping, and that will bring up this particular dialog. This dialog is very easy. Basically, what you want to do is you want to specify an existing field, or you can also create a brand new field right here in Engage from this dialog. So you don't have to have the field in Silverpop Engage automatically. You can create it on the fly. In this case, I already have a field called Salutation. So I'm going to go ahead and select that particular field, and I'll go ahead and click Next. Now here, this is where you're going to determine how you want it to sync. Do you want to start by pulling all the information, or do you want all historical data also? So we do have the ability to pull historical data, whether it's in Engage or in Salesforce.com. And then you determine exactly how you want to sync. Do you want it to go from CRM to Engage, Engage to CRM, or bidirectionally? If you do pick bidirectionally, you do have an option of selecting which is going to be the system of record. So which system, if there's a conflict, is going to override. Typically, CRM is always going to override. Once you're done with all your changes, you just click Save here, and you've made yourself a field mapping. It's that simple, and again, like I said, you are in total control of your field mappings. It's very easy to do. Some of the other settings that you need to do, of course, you need to specify your Salesforce.com credentials, but that's a pretty easy step to do. And you also have optional settings with your Salesforce. We talked about purging the metrics after a particular number of days. This allows you to limit the number of email metrics that are going into Salesforce. And then, of course, you can enable the opt-out syncing or disable opt-out syncing. If someone opts out of a message, that'll continue and go all the way to Salesforce and mention that they've particularly opted out. We also give you a status update where you can actually see the status of all your syncing and how things are going on. Each component of the integration is controlled by a particular a module, and each module is independent from each other, so you can actually stop and start different syncing methods as you see fit with the status page. And the alert page is basically everything that has gone wrong with the syncing, any alerts that you might have. So for example, you have profile, leads, and contacts. You can sync your chatters. You can sync your mailing history, sync your CRM. Again, it's all modularized, and you can deactivate any of these components at any time and activate all the other ones. All right, we can stop right there. I think I covered most of the main points. Simon, do you think is there anything that you think I missed?
No, seemed pretty good to me. Is that Kenny and Kuhn? Is that sort of what you're after?
Yeah, I think that was great. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
so I
was short. It was everything you had to cover.
Short, and I talk fast sometimes, so.
So, but the only thing is let's be very